to the Dirty South Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Eric Lee and Lorenzo Ice-T.
What's going on, social media? What's going on, everybody? It's the Dirty South Fantasy Football Podcast with yours truly, Eric Lee, in the house, and my man, Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas, down for the third week in a row. He's good, but he's not good enough to get on the air tonight. So I'm going to handle my business tonight, doing my thing. I've got some a guest host with me. It should be fun. He's going to gloat a little bit because he won the league in terms of our fantasy football league. So going to definitely introduce him in a few seconds. But first and foremost, want to make sure that everybody knows that if you have an opportunity, go ahead and smash that like button if you are on Facebook, and if you are on our YouTube pages, make sure you hit the subscription button as well as the like button. So every time that we push out this content about fantasy football, you guys are truly, truly informed. So I've been talking about him for a quick second. I'm going to let him come on in here because I know he wants to gloat a little bit. One of the gentlemen that were in our fantasy football league, you saw him earlier in the podcast weeks ago. We call him, Chaz the Sandman, but he calls himself straight gas in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, my man Chaz the Sand. Oh, he put AKA the champ on there. Chaz, what's going on, man? Can't hear you.
The champ is here.
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the world has arrived. The champ is here.
The champ is here.
The champ is here.
Oh, my bad, man. You know, it's a lot going on these days, Biggie. It's a lot going on these days. I thought I had to give the right presentation for my people that don't know me. I am the champ. You know, a lot of people call me Chad the Sandman, aka Straight Gas, but today you can just call me Champ for short, baby.
I can just call you champ for short.
You should call me Champ for short, baby.
look, hey man, when you win, you win. I can't be mad at you. I can't be
You know
mad
what I'm
at
saying?
you.
By the way, Happy New Year, brother.
Oh man, I'm glad to be here, brother. I'm glad to be here. All
go.
right, so we gonna talk about your championship. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do you real proper right now. Congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations, Chaz the Sandman. Congratulations. That's right, Chaz. Chaz with a 10-3 record went through the process and beat us all. I ain't mad at you, man.
It was a good season. Definitely my first time participating in that sleeper app. No, right?
Yeah, it was a sleeper app. We used the sleeper app.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. And look forward to trying to defend my belt and come back to it, reclaim the glory next season.
Yeah. And we got to get your ring size, man, because we got to fit you for the championship ring, the trophy. Right. We got to get you the cup too. So you, for those who don't know, one of the things in our fantasy football league, since it's our first dynasty league, the winner of the league the first year gets to name the cup that we have. With, of course, you can put every year you can put a new champion on the plates, but the cup itself will be named after the winner of the first league, and he can name it anywhere. What you want to name the cup, man?
I don't know, man. That's something that me and the guys over here in the office been trying to discuss. You know, okay. Me and the team getting together, trying to get the right, respectable name for the Dynasty Championship. I want something to be carried down for years and years to come. So I'm gonna make it classy, but not trashy.
I truly appreciate it. Since we all got to have when I come to get the cup next year, I don't need to be trashy. I like to be respectful of it.
You know what I'm saying? We all grown, so
we all grown. And if you're out there checking us out, feel free to hit us up in the comment section. Drop a comment on us. We would truly appreciate it. Any questions you have about fantasy football, ask Chaz. He is the champ. He only lost 3 games. He's well qualified to talk about fantasy football.
Yeah, man.
Very, very well qualified. But let's talk about some real football, man. First and foremost, man, last night. That was a rough one, bro.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That was a rough one. And I remember when it first went down, we were all on the chat line. and was like, "Did you see what just happened?"
Mm-hmm.
Prayers up for Damar Hamlin. That was some deep stuff. And for anybody out there that played the game on a high school level, on a college level, on professional level, you've been out on the field before and people have gotten hurt. And we've seen it so much, sometimes it desensitizes us. But when he got up and went down, and I said, man, that doesn't look right. And we saw what went down. And based on what we're hearing from reports from the NFL Network, from CNN, of course, they said he had a heart attack. And word out now is that he was resuscitated twice. Once on the field when they got him in the van, and once when he got back into the hospital. So prayers go out to this man, because you saw what you saw in the eyes of those players. I mean, it's a brotherhood. Definitely. If anybody you ever known that played sports, there's always a brotherhood. And these guys go to work together every day, and that's what they do. And to see this young man at 24 to go down in that manner, it was scary. What are your thoughts, Chaz?
Yeah, man. I've personally never seen anything like that. I remember in high school, we did have a guy who went to Creekside High School and on the south side of Atlanta. He actually got into an accident. I think he broke his neck or something, and he later passed from complicated injuries. But nothing like that, man. To see him stand up, straight up, and then just fall back down, and looking at the players' reaction is like surreal. How much we love the game, but to see it can be like these guys put their bodies on the line day in and day out. And to watch that happen live was something, man. Something that I really didn't enjoy, but my prayers is going out for him and his family. But were you able to see his foundation that he was able to raise?
Man, what was it? $2,500 he wanted to raise for his toy foundation. The last time I checked, $4 million.
$4 million in less than 24.
In less than 24 hours.
Right.
Less than 24 hours. And I was watching the NFL Network earlier today, and they were talking about the foundation itself, and they showed him doing the whole toy drive. And man, I mean, when we want to come to help people out, we really can make that happen. And we think about it. Did you see that the fact that he was with his mother earlier at the game?
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's nothing like a mother's love, first and foremost.
Man, listen. So my hearts go out to her just to have her go through that situation, flying out to Buffalo, watching her baby play.
Right.
You think it's just a normal game. It's a big game of the year, probably the biggest game he's ever played in as a football player in general. I know he went to Pitt. I can't remember if Pittsburgh had any big bowl games as of lately, but to see that happen live and you're there at the game, and I say at least she was there to be by his side, because God knows what her emotions would have been like watching that on TV and you're miles and miles and miles away. So
right. And like you talking about the how the players felt, and the first thing that I thought, or what came to my mind when I saw it, was that's almost PTSD. You literally saw one of your comrades, other players, a player go down in front of you that could have realistically passed away right there, because he did go into cardiac arrest and they had to revive him. So if they had to revive him, most definitely he could have passed away. I think Chaz bounced out of here for a quick second, but he'll probably pop in. But it's just to show you how serious the game is in terms of the NFL. If you're out and about and you're checking us out, feel free to hit us up in the comment line. It's real easy. And if you're checking us out, hit the thumbs up on the like button. If it's Facebook, if you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the notification button, as well as the subscription button. I think Chaz is back. Hold on for a second. I got you, Chaz. There you go.
Yeah, man.
You need to get off that. You need to get off that dial up. Man, that AOL dial up.
It's Apple, man. I got a call that came in. No. Don't do it like that. Don't do it.
So it pushes you off. Shout out to everybody that's checking us out. Feel free to hit us up in the comment line. But like we talked about the emotional scars that you would have to have, I am so glad the NFL decided to postpone that game because you see Josh Allen's face right there. I mean, you can't get past this stuff. So to actually have to go back out there and play, I could have never done that. I could have never done that at all. So, we just keep praying for him, man. It's a crazy situation. And what can you say, man? You just got to keep praying for him. So prayers up for the defensive back, Mr. Hamlin, out in Cincinnati right now. So let's move on a little bit. If we have to come back, we can come back to it. I wanted to talk about you and your folk. Now, just in case y'all don't know, Chaz is a huge Philadelphia fan. So what you gonna do, man? I mean, is the Minshew experience over?
Yeah, man. That shit, it was fun while it lasted, but I'm good.
So you good?
Yeah, man. I feel like Minshew is a good quarterback, but I just don't. He just.
He's not what you need.
Not what I need, not for the system, and our offensive coordinator Gannon is not doing the best job with calling the plays that fits his play style. We're still running a lot of RPOs, which granted you don't need to be a mobile quarterback to run RPO, but in the scheme that we run, when we got our guards pulling, and we really can't get the run started like that. So I'm not a fan of what is happening out there, and now questions are starting to arise that are the Eagles who they thought they were? Are we, that all that rumbles, but I trust my guys to get it done. And then we got a big game on Sunday, and it looked like the Giants are going to rest their starters, so that's playing well for us and our benefit of clinching the number 1 seed and home field throughout the playoffs.
Now, if you lose this, Dallas actually has a chance to get home field advantage and the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is, if you lose this game next week, you know who you play the first round in the playoffs, right?
I mean, I guess it depends on seeding.
Oh, I can tell you exactly who you play.
Who we play?
Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go to Tampa because they are the South champions.
Yeah.
That's who you lost against last year.
Yeah.
He turned back the clock on us last week.
Yeah, he looked good.
25.
He looked good, but
he looked like Tom Brady.
He did. I mean, to be honest, I don't really see one team in the NFC that scares me as an Eagles fan. I feel like our biggest threat would be the 49ers just off of that defense and the style of football they play. Right. They go out, they run the ball, and they take care of the ball. And that's one thing that we're good at too. We run the ball, and I believe we're first in turnover differential. So
okay,
I'm looking forward to it, but I mean, I know it's Brady, I know it's the playoffs, I know it's a different ball game, but Brady doesn't scare me no more. I think.
Hey, that's.
I know
Brady,
that's tough to say. How dare you? But
yeah, some folks out there like this. Don't forget. Look, we are on the Miami Sports Music Network, which has about 10,000 followers on their subscription base. So I'm pretty sure some of them like Brady. And now it's Miami. I know they're all about their Dolphins, but there's probably some folks on here checking this out, and they're like this. Hold on, don't be talking about Brady.
Yeah. Hey, slow down, brother. Slow down, bro.
Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes, champ.
Drinking too much Kool-Aid over there.
And speaking of Miami, my man Tua, they've already said that they're going to have Teddy Two Hands or Two Glove Teddy start this week. As we talk about and look what happened to Mr. Hamlin last night, to Damar Hamlin, when you see Tua take that many shots and they've got to put him in concussion protocol for so many weeks, when is it to the point where the league or the organization has to say, man, we can't take a chance on you getting out there and taking too many more of these shots because you're a young man. And at the end of the day, you want to live a healthy life after the football. And for him to take the shots in the manner in which he's taking them this year, when do you say, hold on, we gotta pull the plug on him for this season, at least to help him heal?
Right.
Or do you let him play? Because you got all the money in Waddle. Well, actually all the money in Tyreek. Waddle is the discount right now.
Right.
You got Waddle. You just spend all that money on the defense and the linebackers. Do you not put Tua in place? Because it's quite evident they are better with Tua than they are without him.
Right. Right. Man, it's a slippery slope because as an organization, of course you want to win. That's why we play the game. But it's also important to take care of the players, and they're the main focus. They help us win. So we got to put player safety in perspective here. But looking at the bigger picture, Tua went to the University of Alabama, national champion.
Yeah.
He has pedigree when it comes from winning. It comes from being able to fight, claw, and do whatever it takes to, stay victorious. But we also know Tua has a lengthy injury history.
Yes.
So
starting at Alabama.
So with that being said, it's almost up to because if you ask a player, of course he's going to play. Right. Even when that ugly hit against Cincinnati, when he was falling and looking discombobulated all over the field.
On the same field last night.
So when things like that happen, it's like he thinks he's okay to play. So in his mind, he's like, I got to keep playing, but you're not physically capable. Like, it just takes some time when you have to sit down with your player. Maybe, I don't know, man. It's just a tough decision. Because he is a top quarterback in his league. Well, not top, but maybe top in the AFC. But he's a good quarterback. He can win games.
I mean, all you need is 5 yards and a slant for Tyreek.
And that's house call, baby.
House call, baby. Let's go. Let's go. If you are a Miami Dolphins fan, and I'm sure there's some out there, what do you guys think? Do you continue to go with Tua to make the push in the playoffs? Do you do that at the risk of his health? I mean, everybody wants to win, and they want to win now. So, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is very serviceable as a quarterback. But do you want Tua in at this time? It's that time of the year. If you're out there, hit us up in the comment section. We'd love to shout you out. Now, in addition to that, it's pretty much over for most fantasy football. Well, it was the whole injury portion last night put a lot of people in limbo because it was championship for most leagues. And if you had, of course, Joe Burrow, or if you had Josh Allen, or if you had any of the offensive players or either the defenses, you got in limbo because with the game being postponed and the NFL had made a decision on what they're going to do, how many people out there in limbo in terms of fantasy? Because it's a huge part of what football is. And we know that it's most important about the health of the players. But I had about 4 people that came up and said, look, man, what's going on? I said, hey, man, the NFL is not going to play these guys no time soon. Plus, the game would be crappy. Nobody wants to play that game. Your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like the NFL is still trying to dictate on what position to go in because there's so many different outcomes. Like on one hand, you got guys that want to play. On the other hand, you got guys that don't want to play. You got people. It's so crazy because we never experienced anything like this in the history of sports.
Right.
Well, NFL particularly, but to see that for the fantasy guys out there, they had a Josh Allen or that's I'm pretty sure it's
somebody in a championship with
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, Burrow. These are elite top 5 fantasy players that's leading your guys to the championship, and you're probably only down 10 points. And now you don't have a Burrow or you don't have a Josh Allen. I mean, look, Joe Burrow threw a touchdown last night to Tyler Boyd. And that was like 7 points plus the yardage, the gain on top of that was probably like 8 points, give or take. So you probably only needed 2 more points to win that championship, but then they cut the league off. So, man, that's not nowhere I want to be. Don't, man, especially if you pot somewhere like $10,000 and guys is, oh my God, that's no fun.
In Vegas, I'm pretty sure Vegas is trying to figure it out too. But the real part about it is that somebody got hurt.
Yeah,
and I was Ryan Clark, I think that's his brother's name, that was on ESPN, and it was crazy because I never heard his story. I heard the portion of the story that he didn't realize he didn't have sickle cell, and he was flying in Denver, and of course the altitude. The guy almost died when he was playing for Pittsburgh, but Scott Van Pelt said, "Yeah, you laid it on the line, man. You gave up organs." And I said, "Well, hold on, we didn't give up no organs. Let me Google this thing." Dude gave up his spleen and part of his gallbladder in the surgery, and he played for 10 years. And the thing about it, it's just a reflection on what the gladiator mentality of the football player. You're young enough. You're young, but you're educated enough to know the story about Ronnie Lott in a playoff game. Broke the top of his finger. He ripped it off and played the game. This is just a different mentality. Football players built differently. So, they just built differently. They just built differently. And we can see that sometimes you got to stop them from being a detriment to their own selves. So, but the fantasy season is about to be over. The new season in terms of draft picks are about to go down. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we can get out of here. But let's talk about the top 3 draft picks, man. You got your sheet with you?
Yeah, man, we good to go.
Man, number 3, Anthony Robinson of Florida. I've been checking him out. What are your thoughts about him?
I think
Not sure?
I like him. He's okay. I feel like, to be honest, there's only because really it's a toss-up. Like, some people like Anthony, and a lot of people like what's the guy's name?
Kid out of Tennessee?
Will Levis
out of was he was it Kansas? Kentucky.
Yeah, and he's pretty good. Like, I think he played a year longer than Richardson did, and it's so tough because out of the 2 favorites that everybody know at quarterback is like you got 3 and 4, and then there's like a huge drop off. Like got Bo Nix out there in Oregon. It's just, I feel like in the right system he'll do good, but I'm not a huge fan just yet.
Okay, number 2, C.J. Stroud. I think he should be number 1, but he's been ranking Pro Football Talk as number 2. And since you and I are here in Georgia, in Atlanta, we saw CJ last Saturday.
Right.
That boy ain't number the truth.
Man, is he? He had me nervous. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a big Georgia fan. That was tough to watch.
How they say as advertised. That boy is as advertised.
Yeah.
He got the size, he got the arm strength, he got the accuracy. That boy a beast.
Yeah, and he throws the ball with so much velocity. It just comes, he fires it out, man.
He'll break your finger.
Yeah, he can.
He'll break your finger.
He looks good, though.
And the number 1 quarterback that's ranked, Bryce Young out of Alabama. I like Bryce.
Yeah.
But I don't know because he's small.
He is small. He's
tiny. He about as big as, look, Stetson Bennett about as big as he is.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He got that Kyler Murray size. It's like, but he don't have the athleticism of a Kyler Murray.
Right.
But he can throw the ball on make plays on the run. I like him. I like Bryce.
So okay, I tell you what, you got you the first pick. You got Bryce or you got CJ. Who you picking?
I'll probably go CJ. CJ well built. He's accurate. He's 6'3", solid. Like, he's the prototypical quarterback for when it comes down to just pure size.
Yeah. If you're out and about and you're checking this out and you got an idea who you think are probably the best suited to be the number 1 quarterback draft pick in the draft, hit us up in the chat line. We'd like to know what your thoughts are. Let's move to wide receiver. Number 3, Josh Downs of North Carolina. I've been checking out a little bit of ACC ball. He looks nice. He looks nice. I like what I saw. But of number 2, it's crazy because I don't see a lot of SMU ball, but Rashee Rice, have you heard about him?
I heard about him. Like, crazy thing is, when his I think they was naming a crazy stat with Rashee Rice. I think when his quarterback threw him the ball, it was like almost a 90% Q. It was. Don't quote me on that. I might have to go look it up, but it was something like a 90% completion percentage, or no, like a 90% QB quarterback rating. It was something insane.
So he made the quarterback look good.
When he throws him the ball, the guy catches it. That's the bottom line.
Well, I mean, if you go, they got him at the number 2 position, right?
You know,
so I get, and I think every time I think about SMU, I think about the Pony Express. You old enough? You know about the Pony Express?
I know a little something about it, but
the Pony Express. That's what I thought.
I'll do it like that.
Eric Dickerson. That was the Pony Express.
Okay.
And when you get a chance, check that out on what is it? ESPN 30 for 30. Find out what the Pony Express is.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
When Eric Dickerson was riding around in the smoking the bandit Trans Am back in the late 70s, early 80s, when they were hitting people on the backside with a little cash. The Pony Express. And the number 1 looks like the number 1, Quentin Johnson. We're gonna see him next week.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, it kind of shocked me because I seen all these guys, but the one guy that I seen that was missing was Jalen Hyatt, the guy from Tennessee.
Yeah,
I really like him a lot. He won the Blennikoff Award.
Yeah.
So he's a stud too. I know he had help out there in Tennessee. He got another receiver. I forgot his name. But I like him as well. But the guy for TCU, I really want to see what he's about.
Well, you know the crazy thing about it is, I would say that he's going to be really tested with Georgia. But for what I'm hearing, they say Georgia going to be tested by him.
Yeah,
they say the DBs in Georgia about to find out what a real wide receiver looks like.
Yeah,
because I mean, you had Marvin Harrison Jr. Looked like he knew what he was doing against Georgia.
Right.
Looked like.
But you also had Laser at quarterback that can drop the ball on the dime and throw it on the rope. So that's I feel like is the difference when it comes to making those elite passes. Like even the pass to Marvin Harrison where it was called targeting, but they later picked up the flag for him to throw that out.
They called it targeting in where we are now. We call it SEC football.
There you go. Get used to it, fellas.
Get used to it, fellas.
But even for Stroud to throw that off his back foot, falling backwards, and to drop it in the breadbasket like that just goes back to what you were saying earlier on how freakishly insane him as a quarterback is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. My man Cap for life. He said, what the hell happened? Lorenzo, what the hell happened? Lorenzo's under the weather, man. He's been under the weather for a couple of weeks, back and forth. But he told me he'll definitely be here next week. Cap, thanks for checking in on us. Let's go to the running backs, man. Blake Corum, Michigan. We saw him the other night.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. Solid, strong, physical. I like him.
Yeah. Number 2, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama.
Oh my God!
Didn't he come from Georgia Tech?
I think he did, but
he went to the portal. The portal is where everybody goes now.
Because
Georgia Tech. Yeah, he nice.
Yeah,
but I've watched the number 1 guy, Bijan Robinson out of Texas.
Oh my God! Yeah. That and he's number 1 by a long shot. Like it's not even close when
there's nobody close to him.
Man, athlete.
And I'm hoping because we got Dynasty League, our teams are our teams, and you got the last pick, so I don't even have to worry about you getting them.
Second to last.
I'm gonna let you know right now. If he available, you ain't gonna never see him. He's 16. I just hope that people in the league ain't paying attention.
Oh, they ain't gonna be paying attention. It would depend on where he go though. If he goes to the right situation and has the opportunity, he might have to go. He might just go first round. You never know.
Oh no, they say he's the first back off the board.
Really?
They say he's the first back off the board.
I don't know.
He's the first back, not the first player.
I'm not taking no rookie running back first. No, I can't. Because, I mean, really, when you think about it, the number one pick is usually a running back. The top three, I don't know,
school. That's
two
old
be
school.
running backs.
They don't do that no more.
Hold on.
When was the last time you seen a running back first off the board?
This past season, most of it was Jonathan Taylor.
No, I'm talking about the draft.
I'm talking about
real draft, man.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute.
You're talking about the real draft.
Okay. No, yeah. You're right. I can't even. I think the last guy that was the high. I don't know who was it. Like maybe like Saquon was drafted.
Yeah. Saquon was drafted like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but guys don't get drafted that high. Not at running back.
But he will get drafted high. This guy gonna get. But for people that are in dynasty leagues, he definitely the first running back off the board.
You think so?
In dynasty, it's not redraft.
Oh yeah.
We already got our team.
Yeah. You're right.
Now next year, he'll probably I don't know, 8th or 9th round in regular draft.
Right.
It depends on where he falls.
Right.
But definitely for redraft. I mean, speaking of, man, you did well in our redraft league. You came in second place on that, and first place in our league. So you had a good year.
I appreciate that.
I give you your respect. I give you your respect.
I try to do what I can do.
Yeah, I get it. So thanks, man, for holding it down. Lorenzo was a little under the weather, but I know he wanted to come up here and give you crap about winning, because after you posted the Joe Burrow meme smoking a cigar, I was like, okay, you feeling himself. That's all good. Tell everybody how they can find you on social media, man.
Man, you can check in with me at Sandhead. That's SANDHEAD. All one word, no underscore, Sandhead. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. All social media platforms. You might see a picture of this belt right here. I'm going to try to get the picture with the belt and the ring. I'm going to really video something in. That's a lot of bling. What you think, E? What you think, man?
We get the trophy, the cup, your ring. We're going to bring it back so you can totally floss on us and all the hard work.
Then I'm gonna really need a Joe Burrow cigar with that one.
Yeah, we're gonna let you're gonna flex on us the whole nine. We appreciate you coming in there, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Hang out in the green room for a second.
All right, sounds good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my man Chaz, the Sandman, who's actually the winner of our league, and he did a really good job. I ain't lying. The brother killed us, and it was all good. It was all good. Hands up for one more time for you, brother. Don't forget to check us out each and every week. Hopefully my man Lorenzo's back into place. You can catch me at Dirty South FFL on all of my social media as we continue to talk about real football as well as fantasy football. Once again, prayers goes out to Damar Hamlin for the shot that he took last night, cardiac arrest, and prayers up for him that he gets better, gets back on the team, or just get back to living life like we want to live our lives. So see you next week. 8 p.m. is the time. Catch us on our social media at Dirty South FFL on all my social media, as well as do hit the like button on Facebook and the notification button if you're on Facebook, as well as please subscribe. Thank you so much for checking us out, and we will definitely catch you next week. We out of here.